Alright, so Coronet Peak, this is my home flying site, so I'm going to go and test fly the glider. I've done some changes to it, changed some settings on the sprogs and whatnot, so I just want to test fly that because when I flew yesterday it turns out I'd actually put a turn into it, some adjustments I'd done before, so correcting that. And then I'll show you guys my local site, Coronet Peak. So I've just got everything pretty much set up here. I've got new Vario as well, so I'm going to put a mini task into there and just fly through some turn points and sort of see how that goes and see if I can get on with that instrument. But again, I flew with that yesterday and it was brilliant. It's really good. So yeah, I'm going to go and get involved. The sky looks really good. You look out there. I'm not planning on going anywhere because it's a pretty small box that we fly in here at Coronet Peak. The airspace is quite low. We're not allowed to go much higher than the top of the chairlift up here, which is 5,500 feet. We're not allowed to go too far this way because there's an international airport just down there. So we're pretty lucky we can actually already fly this close. Can't go too far that way and can't go too far that way. The only way out of this flying site is over the back there, which is over towards Wanaka. So I don't ever imagine I'm going to go up there today, but if I can take you around and show you up towards Brow Peak, if the conditions permit, we'll go up there and have a look out the back towards Wanaka and we'll see how we go. Everything on, ready to go. You're working, glider set. Let's go for a little explore around Coronet Peak. Yeah, nice. Took off into a nice cycle coming up then. Alright, let's get comfy, go exploring. So that's me now zipped up in the harness, nice and comfy. And turn back towards Takeoff. Actually gone up a tiny bit. Yep, there's a climb, we'll give it a spin in that and see if we can keep going up. Bit of a house thermal comes off just in front of the car park here. Great. Here's what we're in. And looking out for the tandem just down here. So there's Coronet Peak, one of the main ski fields just out of Queenstown, which is pretty good. We can drive up this road that's just over here. We've got a full access road up there, which means you can take off from the car park, take off just down there where we were. Now I'm just sort of making my way straight up the ski slope actually, up towards Cloud Base. Now, as I mentioned before, pretty low airspace here, can't go much higher than the peak, which is 5,500 feet is the ceiling, just getting up to 4.8, a couple of hundred feet to go before I have to be in a different position. Now I can fly over the back and go higher. Not on this side. So I left the climb just so I didn't breach the airspace. I left that climb there. And I'm now on the Green Gate side of Coronet where you can go up over 5.5, but the lift's not as good. Which I'm sure now if I just boost straight across Coronet Peak here, I'll just get the booster. 5,300, just being careful not to go too high. So I'm up now on Brow Peak. Now this area here, I've got a little corner where I'm allowed up to 7.5. I'm at 5.2 at the moment. If we get a climb, I'll take it even higher. Back towards Coronet Peak over here. Pretty special views. We've got Wanaka over this direction by the Tapu, and then as a spin back around this way, you'll see Coronet Peak come into sight. And then down towards Queenstown and the airport, all down that way. So hang around here, see if I can get a little bit higher. And it does look good over the back. I'm not saying no. I'm not committing to going out the back yet. Not fancy a walk out, but I think if I went over there, I don't think I'd be landing. The clouds look pretty good, he says, from the safety of a glide into the landing, but we'll see. That's a dreaded maze town down there. Don't want to be walking from there. I don't really want to be landing there either. There's not many landings, it's pretty tight. As I said, if I did go over the back there, I don't think I would be landing. But I want a bit more height than, well, certainly than what I am now. Back down at 5.5. It's got up to 6.5, but I'd like a little bit more to go over the back than that. Still boating around up at Brow. Just bumped into, well, they came over to Brow, Aaron and Chris on the paragliders, and they went for a little look. It looks like Aaron's heading back down towards Coronet Peak now to get a climb. Chris is out here, and I think our next step's going to be over towards Millbrook. We'll fly over towards Millbrook down here, tag that corner at airspace, and say hello to Chris on the way past. So down at the Arrowtown end now. Just tagged the little turnpike that I'm putting down there. There we go, works, that's good. Now we're going to fly back towards the Takeoff along the ridge. That way. Look out! Now we're just passing the Takeoff, the car park Takeoff, just down here where we took off from earlier. Heading towards the hairpin, which is the furthest to the west that we're allowed to fly here. The airspace runs up, and just to the furthest hairpin you can see just in front. We're not allowed to fly past that, fortunately, but there we go. Managed to top up at the turn point then. Always nice when there's a little thermal at the turn point. So the whole time I'm flying, I'm keeping my eye on the lake down here, just looking for any gust lines that are making their way up. Now I can see there's a bit of wind on it, but nothing too crazy yet. But it is definitely southerly. I do need to keep my eye on it. I'm going up nicely, but I'm flying straight through it. I don't need it. So what I'll do now is I'm going to fly out to the main road in front, because the main road in front is our boundary of airspace as well. We can't fly any further forward than that. Yeah, again, we've got the international airport just out in front, Queenstown Airport. For a second then I thought Chris on the paraglider were going to come and chase me, but I had to give him a little bit of VG and pull the bar in a bit. Now we're back straight over the car park, which should conclude our little tour of Coronet Peak and my test fly of the glider, which is better. I know tweaked my sprogs a little bit and it's flying better, so I know I can go a little bit more, and I know what was causing the turn that I put in before. I'd say I had a pretty good idea. I knew what it was because I did it. But yeah, just flying better. So as I set myself up for a landing here, I'm just working the sink just to get down here. It's pretty lifty now. Expecting it to be pretty bumpy coming into land. It always is in a southerly, because we've got the cliffs behind us. It's little rolling foothills in front of Flight Park as well, so it gets a bit bumpy, but when you're expecting it, it's not as bad as when it's a surprise. So there we go, I've got one paraglider to look out for. They look like they're just soaring the back of the Flight Park actually. Might just actually go up a bit more here just to give paraglider a bit of space, me a bit of space, just so we're not landing at the same time.
no matter how hard you try to avoid a paraglider, there's always another one.